Really simple thing, but a lot of people aren't using it, and that's just using a scheduling app. Later, Planoly, Plan. Plan is the one that I use. I love Plan. I've used it for years. It's like $12 a month, I think. Signing up for someone new who hasn't been using it for years, it might be like $15 a month. It's a great way to stay consistent because you have this bank. You can sit there when you have the time, create all these things, and then put them into the app to schedule and it'll post for you. Most of these things will automatically post for you. You can do things where you set a reminder to post, but here's the caveat for that. Don't stop what you're doing with friends and family to go post, because that's just rude as fuck. Yes, you're a business person, and yes, they should understand and whatever, but if you're with somebody, you owe it to them to give them all of your attention. So if something is being scheduled to post and you are out to dinner with friends or family, or you are at the doctor's office or whatever, you know what your schedule is for that day, and you can just be like, okay, let's just change this. Shifting something by an hour or two to post at an off-peak time, it's not going to impact things that much by an hour, okay? If you're building up consistency, then what time doesn't necessarily matter quite as much, so you don't need to be so rigid about it. And if you're not using trending audio, you don't need to post things manually. It can do it all for you, especially like with Plan. It can do it to your stories. It can do it to your reels. It can do it to a whole bunch of different platforms. It can do it Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. It can do so many different platforms for you. It posts it automatically. You literally don't even need to look. I have been using this for so long, like, I don't know. I don't remember how many years ago this was now. The bride has multiple children. So it's at least 5 or 6 years. That's how long I've been utilizing this. I was sitting there and I was doing the bride's hair on a wedding day, and Plan posted for me on my behalf. And she was sitting there on her phone on Instagram, and it, popped up that I had posted, and she's kind of like stopped and looked at me, and she was just like, did you just post something? And I was like, oh, it was my scheduler. It does it for me. I don't have to manually do these things. And she was like, wow, okay. She's like, cause I was like, did you just pull out a phone and post something in the middle of doing my updo? I was like, no, it's already done for me. I don't have to think about it. Adding in these levels of automation frees you up to concentrate on your life in the moment, okay? Your business should not be taking over your life. Using trending audio is great. If you're gonna use trending audio, put it in for times when you can be present. I know it's just a few seconds where you're like, well, it's just a few moments. It just pops up and then I do this or whatever. Still, trust me, as somebody who's been married for 18 years, who has been running her own business for almost 17 years, there have been so many times where I wish I could go back in time, where what I thought was just those few seconds of taking my attention away from sitting there at dinner with my husband or playing a game with my kids or whatever, I pulled out my phone and I did something for my business, whether it was posting something, responding to an email, replying to a text, whatever. Doing it over and over again sends the message your business is more important than the people that you're with. And it will create conflict. It may not do it right now. The money might be nice. All these things. You might not think much of it now. Give it a few years. You build up this habit. You build up this message to the people that you're with. Your business comes first and not them. They will start to build up resentment for it. Okay, so just start utilizing a scheduler. They are not hard to use. You build up all the stuff. You upload it. You pick which day. Things like Plan will tell you when is the most optimal time to post for your audience, okay? And it's gonna consistently change. So what might be the most popular day and time for me to post right now, 6 months from now, based on the new clients I get or the new audience members that I get and their behavior on the app and all these kinds of things, that could shift. So it's like up to date, real time, here's when the best time for you to post is. But like I said, it really doesn't matter that much. If you're putting out good content, a trending audio won't save you. The perfect day to post won't save you. The perfect time won't save you, okay? If you're putting out crap content, if you're putting together amazing content, if you're putting stuff out there that people actually relate to, that actually gives them some type of value, that encourages engagement and moves people through the buying process, it doesn't matter what the audio is, it doesn't matter what day or what time it is, the content is good. That is what matters. Auto post it. Just auto post it, okay? Take one thing off of your plate if you want to be more consistent. Create the things when you're in a good mood. Be prepared. Put together a list. Make it count. And then set it to schedule and post without you thinking about it. That is how you really build consistency. It does not matter what your energy level is that day when you wake up. If you have a couple of weeks worth of content already created and already posted, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how you're feeling in that day, in that moment. You are not relying on your brain chemicals to be like, woohoo, we're creative today. I know what I'm going to talk about. No, plan it. Just find your days when you're like, I am creative today. I know what I'm going to talk about. If you got kids who watch Phineas and Ferb, or if you ever watch Phineas and Ferb, it's always like, I know what I'm going to do today. You create in those moments and you leverage those moments rather than trying to force those moments. So in summary, create a content bank. This is going to help build your consistency, even on your off days. Schedule time during non-busy or non-stressful times or your manifestation stage, your high energy days. Put together all of your prep. So when you are in the moment, you're not like, well, now I don't know what to fucking do with my time. You're like, I know exactly what I'm going to do with my time. I have a note on my phone. I have a notebook or whatever. Put it together. You can fly through it so much faster. You can get it done. You can get more done in less time when you're prepared. And then just use a schedule app to do it all for you. Showing your face builds connection. It builds that know, like, and trust factor with your audience, okay? They aren't just buying your services. They are buying you. They are buying your energy. They are buying your personality. They are buying your client experience. That is what sets you apart from the person down the street who does hair the same way you do, or who does makeup the same way you do, who uses the same tools, the same products, took the same classes, is just as talented or more talented than you are. We all want to think we're the best fucking artist out there. We're not. There's always going to be people out there who are better than us, but that does not mean that we will never get booked. People are buying us. People are buying you. Okay, so showing up online, consistency with you, your face. I know I talked a lot about little things that you can film that don't necessarily show off your face, but try and get your face in there. If you're planning on days where, you are in the right mindset, you are in the right energy, you are prepared, you have your hair and your makeup and your outfit and your whatever makes you feel confident, whatever that is. I'm not saying you have to put on makeup. I'm not saying you have to style your hair or whatever. Whatever it is that makes you feel confident, that's how I want you to show up. I want you to show up authentically to you, whatever that is. All right. But showing up, showing your face, connecting with your audience, that is how you build the know, like, and trust factor. That's what helps to really put people through the buying process, that helps to convert just, followers into booked clients. They need to know who you are because that's what they're really buying. They can buy skills anywhere. They can buy pretty hair, they can buy makeup, whatever. They can watch the tutorials, or a friend can watch the tutorials and try and do it themselves. You know what? They might have that friend who's actually really fucking good and probably should be in our industry, and they can do it for them. We want them to buy you. We want to buy the experience that only you can give them, so we need to leverage that. And in order to do that, we have to be who is showing up, not just our work all the time. So thank you so much for joining me on today's conversation. I will see you back next week.